Do you sleep naked? Why or why not? In high school, I tried joining the USMC. I had a pilonidal cyst removed a few months before, and the only indication that I had surgery was a small surgical scar. Anyway, during my physical the Marines somehow knew exactly what I had just because of that little scar, and I was rejected for lying about surgery, and for having had surgery. Along those lines, we were staying at a friend's vacation condo that was shared by their family and every one of them had a key. Turned out that our time there was not added to the calendar. One of their kids and BF assumed that it was empty that week and came up in the middle of the night. As I do sleep au natural and was in a sound sleep once they entered the house just outside the master suite, and the door was wide open, my wife wakes me and, seeing shadows, I jump out of bed, nothing between me and them. A couple years later we see them at a family member's graduation party. My wife introduced us and said to them, "You remember my husband and his penis? Them's the chances one takes." Yes. My wife thinks I'm insane for this, but I almost never sleep without socks. I have ridiculously sensitive, ticklish feet. If she so much as grazes the solace of my feet with her toes while sleeping, I'll damn near jump out of bed and be wide awake. If my feet are sticking out from under one of the covers and one of the cats touches my foot or even brushes it with a whisker, same thing. The socks are a buffer. For what it's worth, I also almost never ever walk barefoot except showering, never wear sandals or flip-flops except at the pool, and just generally prefer my feet very well enclosed. Wife and mother-in-law were trying out a foot massager and talked me into it, about jumped through the ceiling. Can't stand anything touching my feet, especially another person. I wear work boots 7 days a week, even in summer. No. Touchy. Duh. Feets. I'm so cold all the time I wear 2 layers in my heated house. I'm talking underwear, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of pants, bra, t-shirt, sweater. I wear this to bed in the winter. Sometimes I'll get risky and only have 1 pair of pants. I also sleep with a heated blanket against my mattress and I still shiver. I think I may have a condition or I'm just weird. I sleep with socks on no matter what. It's currently 20 degrees Celsius outside and I'm wearing my warmest pair of socks to bed because my feet are just that cold. Yes, we exist. Yes, we are often cold. I used to sleep naked. I used to share a love for freedom with all these fellow Samudist Redditors. And then I had kids. Worst part is, the clothes don't even fully insulate you from unwanted, potentially scarring contact with said children. My 4-year-old managed to press his foot into my back, toes down, and slide it downwards, underneath the elastic waist of my sweatpants, and straight into the crack of my ass. Sigh. I remember sleeping naked. So peaceful and free. I used to. And then a few years back, on Christmas morning at about 3 a.m., the water heater in my closet burst and shot water into my broken electrical panel. Had to get the fuck out of my apartment, pack up both my cats too, and also try not to run outside naked. I ended up having to throw on a pair of dirty scrubs, the only clothes not in my bedroom full of electricity, with no underwear, and go outside in a snowstorm. Absolutely not worth it, and I haven't slept naked since. Naked. Every night of my life where I've been in an actual bed and not on a couch or something. It's more comfortable in every possible way. The sheets don't get all twisted when you roll over. It's cooler in the summer. In the winter you just add a thick comforter and some flannel sheets, and it's just as enjoyable. No one needs me while I'm in bed on such an urgent basis that me being clothed is necessary. I'm not a firefighter. And if something is truly that urgent, me being naked won't matter. Throughout the week, yes. On weekends when the kids are here, no. Yes, because 1, I live alone. 2, it's comfy. 3, I wear clothes all day. 4, Why not? No, because 1, I took my door off its hinges. Started coming loose from the door frame and I didn't want it to fall while anyone was passing it. 2, cause I might need to rush to their room at any time, don't wanna have to find my boxers in a confused sleep/awake state while trying to figure out what's going on with them, lol. Barely ever naked, unless a heavy amount of alcohol was involved, and post-sex I cannot be bothered to reclothe. There's a significant chance of testicular torsion for men who sleep naked. I had a friend that literally needed a urgent surgery of sorts because he slept naked, or so he claimed. For about 40 years, I was a silk boxers man. A man of great wealth and distinction. Then in the 2010s, boxer briefs started using newer fabrics that were silk-like, I would wear for workout or in replacement here and there. Recently, I've switched to like ultra-thin, softest Nike or Reebok's running dry fit shorts, and then I cut the inner webbing out of them, if it exists. So basically I am always wearing shorts with no briefs, under work slacks, shorts, jeans, etc. The second I get home from anything work-related/social, I just take off the outer layer of shorts/pants/slacks, and I am a free man. No additional change is required to jump in the pool, mow the yard, or go to Home Depot. Let the housewives and neighbors stare at one of the few blessings I was given. If I get chubbed up in public, my wife is not pleased. Highly recommend. Wow, this thread. Haven't laughed so much in ages. I always sleep naked. If staying in a hotel or some such, I wear underwear and it feels stifling. I live on the 3rd floor, so burglary in the middle of the night isn't an issue. Though, once I was woken up very early morning by a noise outside my bedroom window. As I stumbled out of bed and drew the curtains, I, pleasantly, startled 2 construction workers putting up scaffolding. Talk about deer in the headlights. My grandfather told me, never sleep naked unless you want the intruder to see your junk. And I know people will say it would be scary to have a nude guy running at you in the night, but come on, they broke into a house in the middle of the night. They are expecting it, I'm sure. Overall, I have tried it a handful of times and I don't like it. My junk gets cold, which makes me have to pee, so I gotta get up and do that more, making me sleep like shit. My wife does sleep nude, but she basically hangs around the house nude all the time, so it's not much different for her. When I, 26M, first tried it a handful of years ago, I thought it was too free, but now I can hardly get to sleep with any clothing, which may be due to lots of naked cuddling/sleeping in my last 2-year relationship. Also changed me from a back/side sleeper to a belly sleeper for whatever reason. It just feels comfortable to me at this point. If I want a little support down there, I can just kinda cup myself. It's oddly relaxing. I always slept clothed until I moved in with my boyfriend. He has always slept naked, and at first I thought it was weird, but then I tried it, and I found myself being so much more comfortable. Another bonus though, every few months we wake up to the other initiating sex, but both of us are sure that the other one started it. I guess when you're naked, it's more likely that you'll start something whilst still asleep. I have to say though, you do have to be careful about where you are, as when I stay over at relatives' houses, I always sleep clothed, as my family has a tendency to just burst in without any warning, and the last thing I want is my family seeing me naked. My girlfriend and I sleep naked on hot nights because why not, and she's basically a human nuclear generator, so blankets and covers are non-existent in the room. She's quite touchy, so she would rub her fingers along my back, chest, you know, the usual girlfriend stuff. She also has the bladder of a 4-month-old raccoon, so she's constantly getting up to pee and I'm trying to catch some Z's. One fateful night that's incredibly hot, I'm laying on my back when I get a light sensation on the side of my back working its way to my hip, then onto my thighs and grazed my Johnson. Thinking my girl is frisky, I let her do her thing, thinking I'm about to get some midnight ass. Life was getting better until I heard her flush, wash her hands, and enter the bedroom, to which I asked if she could turn the light on. I look down at my thigh and I see spider the size of a strawberry just vibing, and I'll never forget the chills scrolling through my skin like a white girl on Twitter while the girliest shriek of terror comes out my mouth. That's one of her favorite stories to tell people. TLDR, I was sleeping naked and a spider touched my dick before my girlfriend. I did for years up until I had a seizure in my sleep and took a nosedive into the nightstand. That wasn't the motivation for the change. That came when the paramedics put a neck cooler on me because of how hard I hit my head. I'm extremely claustrophobic about things around my neck, even the thought of buttoning the top button gets me anxious. When they tried putting the collar on me, I came up throwing haymakers at park docks I'd known for years, bare-assed and covered in head blood. Ever since then I at least have basketball shorts on. I am male. I slept with clothes on, shirt and PJ pants, and only took them off if it was too warm. I now have a partner who is always cold, so temps and blankets have increased dramatically, so now it's impossible to sleep with clothes on. I've recently tried sleeping naked because it's summer and it's even warmer. It's uncomfortable if I don't feel clean. Main concern was sanitation. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's harder to sleep naked because it keeps arousing my partner, so it's hard to sleep. I shower in the morning, and I don't really like the idea of not being freshly cleaned if I'm gonna sleep naked. I even use a bidet post-dump and it still strikes me as gross to take that into the bed with me. If you use TP over the course of the day and then sleep naked without showering first. Ugh. And I'm not gonna switch to showering in the evenings or shower twice, so I just don't see it as an option. Boxers or boxers and shorts. I started as a teen because of horny teen, this is a sexy thing to do ideas, plus I liked being naked in general. But I did it off and on until my recent partner. She really likes it. In fact, everyone I cohabited with seemed to think it was cool. Although again, I didn't do it all the time. My current partner indicated it sounded great, so we both do it all the time now. Once you start, it really becomes the most comfortable way. Word of warning for men. Your testicles and scrotum will get really relaxed at night without the support of underwear. 100% every night since I was in college. I can't stand clothes wrapping around all night and contorting around me. Just the idea of long loose pants at night give me anxiety. And I've tried crop tops and all that. Nothing is as good as sleeping without clothes on, slightly smiling face. It's extremely bothersome. But everybody is different. And I walk around in comfy jammies before I go to bed, so I just lay those on the chair next to my bed, smiley face, just in case. I sleep naked under my clothes. Let me explain. I don't like the feeling of possibly getting dirty in my private area, so I sleep without underwear but with fluffy pajama bottoms. Don't get tight ones, but really airy ones, maybe a size bigger than you would usually wear, and made from light breathable fabric. You still have the freedom but also feel protected. When I'm on my period though, I wear underwear as well. Just more protection. Absolutely not. I hate the feeling of being exposed and of vulnerability I get from it, and prefer to be prepared to be kidnapped in the middle of the night at a moment's notice. I tend to wear my most loose-fitting clothes in bed, so like a cozy t-shirt a few sizes too big and some baggy sweatpants or something. Anything less than that is a huge nope from me. When it gets too hot in summer I might sleep in a t-shirt and underwear, but even that feels too vulnerable and I have to have a thin blanket over my legs, which sort of defeats the point. I dated a girl who always wanted to sleep naked. It was nice, no complaints. Skin-to-skin contact throughout the night was some of the best sleep I've ever had. Although night/morning boners led to a lot of middle-of-the-night/early morning sex. Which sounds nice, but when you break your REM cycle for a quickie it really throws off your groove. Nowadays I can't sleep naked though cause I got cats, that like to climb on me in the middle of the night and think my crotch is the best place to sleep, suona. About 80% of the time, no. I freeze easily and always have the thought what if there's a fire/emergency and I need to quickly leave? Wouldn't wanna stand there butt naked the rest, yes. Reasons, it's hot as balls and I'd rather live/long distance boyfriend is visiting and shenanigans ensue, leaving clothes unnecessary/long distance boyfriend is visiting and acting as a human heater, being clothed would mean heat stroke. Edit, I will, however, always require some kind of blanket. Even if it's just to cover my butt as I fall asleep, no blanket means no sleep. I used to, but I don't anymore. I used to be on the keto diet and for a while there, I got into eating the sweet treats that use the various sugar alcohols as sweetener. For anyone who doesn't know, the sugar alcohol in those things causes you to be gassy as anything and it's ripe. Eat enough of them, and you get diarrhea. I learned this one morning when I woke up. I'm not doing keto anymore, but one traumatization is enough for me, thanks. I got in the habit of sleeping naked when I was in my early 20s and had an apartment to myself. Felt great. So comfortable and unrestricted. Then one morning I woke up to the building on fire. I lived on the fourth, top, floor and my unit was filled with smoke halfway down to the floor. At first I ran around my apartment trying to figure out what I needed to put out. Then the real panic set in when I realized it wasn't in my unit, but somewhere, or possibly even everywhere, else in the building. I had to scramble to find clothes and my pet cat. Luckily the fire was pretty much confined to another unit. I was able to get me and my cat out safely. Except for that fact that she absolutely shredded my arms in her kitty distress as I was clutching her running down steps next to flames coming out from under a door and smoke everywhere. That was like 20 years ago and I haven't slept in the nude since that day. Not usually. Back when I first came out of the closet, I lost everything. Family, friends, home. Now I'd sometimes slept with my clothes on before then. Often because of insomnia keeping me up until I'd just collapse. Living with frequent migraines will do an absolute number on your sleep schedule. The thing about being homeless is it has momentum, and the more it builds the harder it becomes to stop. Seemed like every time I started to build up what I'd need to rebuild my life, something would go bad and I'd have to move again, typically to a new state, and that meant starting over. I ended up couch surfing for in the neighborhood of 5 years. It'll keep you off the street, but it's a life of never having any privacy or feeling 100% safe when bedding down. Sleeping in people's corners and living rooms. When I was lucky, I'd get a small room with a door and a mattress, but I usually wasn't that lucky in those days. So that meant clothes on all the time. That's when it went from frequent habit to almost always. It's not even that I like it. It's not always comfortable and it puts extra strain on clothes and wears them out faster sometimes. And I have a stable home now. But it's a hard habit to break when not wearing clothes can feel unsafe. I'm getting there though. Just takes time. As a kid I always slept in pajama pants or boxer briefs. As an adult, I sleep naked most of the time. If I'm sleeping away from my bedroom I will wear boxer briefs. But if I'm just taking a nap, I'll sleep wherever and in whatever I'm wearing. A lot of my friends will bring sweatpants or something similar to wear if they are expecting to stay the night after drinking. Fuck that. Strip down. No one is going to say anything about your extremely hairy thighs or 10 years hidden abs. Boxer briefs and a white t-shirt in the hotter months of the year, and then when it gets much colder during the winter months of the year here in Seattle I'll still rock a white t-shirt and then instead of boxer briefs I'll use a nice pair of thick sweatpants super cozy and soft. Warmth holding etc. I even have a pair or two from Wally World that look like the sheep's wool cut straight from the sheep and made into a pair of super fluffy cozy sweatpants that have that wool look inside and out. I think they were like $9 at Walmart and are a great pajama solution for anyone, though I'm fairly sure by how quick the pair of sweats like this was pretty much straight up jacked from me until I found a small or extra small for my GF to use. But after I bought them on a whim since they look super comfy and great to wear, my GF more or less stole acquired them from my wardrobe since most, if not all, girls and oversized pairs of sweatpants are like peas and carrots. And in all honesty I think women in a nice fitted white t-shirt or tank top, hair in a pony, and of course the CS super cozy top rolled over once or twice to shorten the sweats up and all that. But anyone with a significant other can feel the pain of your partner jacking or borrowing an item, or more realistically, a few items from your clothes library to rarely be used by yourself moving forward. And honestly I don't mind. To me nothing is sexier or on that level like your GF, with her hair in a pony, white t-shirt or tank top, and then of course the sweats you previously owned. And zero makeup. To me, 100% of women look fantastic and effortlessly sexy when dressed up like this. But that's true beauty to me in this scenario, and I just absolutely love it when my GF rocks this type of clothes on like a lazy Sunday or a day where you and your significant other had a great night and then slept in a bit the next day after.